Hey everybody, this is Kim Dahnke, the Shibboleth new member fast track instructor, and I am so glad that you are here with me on this Sunday night and that you are ready to learn a brand new lifestyle, one that can help you, not hurt you. This can do nothing but help. I know it has me. While we're waiting for people to jump on, I'll go ahead and tell you my brief little story while you say hello. If you are on Facebook, please take a second to hit the share button and let other people know what you are hearing tonight. If you are a member, please tell us how much weight you've lost so that we can encourage new members that are here with us. And say hello. If you are in the Zoom room, just like Teresa did, say hello to us. But first, set your chat to everyone so that we can all see what you are typing. Hey, Sharon. Sharon's lost 4 pounds in her first week. Way to go. And I'm so glad that you guys are taking my advice and re-listening tonight. That's wonderful. Thank you, Teresa and Sharon, for being with me in this past week and now re-listening tonight to just kind of wrap it up. Okay. And you can listen as long as you need to, but I feel like listen to the overview, do the work, listen to the overview. It's just a great learning technique. Hey, Annette, awesome. We're glad you're here for a refresher. That's wonderful. Yes, if you are here with me, let me know if you're just gotten started. You're here for a refresher, or if you don't, or if you're not a member, let me know that. First class is always free. After that, I do hope that you like what you hear and that you get a membership. Currently, a membership is $69 for a lifetime membership. That is not the normal price, y'all. It is $69 for a lifetime, okay? Normally, it's an annual price. Because we do a lot of services for people, okay? Let's see, Alyssa, glad you're here. Awesome, starting back again this week, wonderful. Hey, Tammy, glad you're here, first class, awesome. Are you a member, Tammy? And Millie, hey, Millie, I got to see Millie the other night. She's here for motivation. That's awesome. We got Cindy just getting started. Wonderful, good, good. Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead. Oh, I said I would tell my brief story. I found Shibboleth in April of 2019 after I got on the scale one morning and I was half a pound for my highest weight ever. Awesome, Tammy. Not pregnant. Ladies often say that, right? Awesome, Kathy, new member getting started. Wonderful. And so I said, girl, you got half a pound to turn this baby around. You're not getting up there to the heaviest weight again, not pregnant. So I had never been much of a dieter, but what I had been was an educator. Let me educate myself. So I felt like I knew some things about nutrition that if applied them, it would work. But honestly, even the things that I knew were so restrictive that I just couldn't keep up with it. And I had seen a friend having success with something on Facebook. She was posting about it. So I went to her Facebook page, scrolled through, found what it was, but I didn't know what it was. So I called her and I said, hey, what's this Shibboleth thing that you're doing? And she told me that she had just lost 80 pounds in 6 months. I said, okay, that's quite amazing. And so I scoured the website that night. And then I joined on Saturday. I went on a trip, and while I was on the trip, I watched all of Travis's original daily doses, which we will get y'all there by the end of Fast Track week. But right now we do Fast Track, and then we go to Travis's original daily doses. I came back from that work trip on a Monday. went to the grocery store on a Tuesday, started Shibboleth on a Wednesday, and in a week I'd lost 9 pounds. In a month, I'd lost 18.5 pounds. And in 3 months, I got to my goal weight of 150. So I lost 35.5 pounds. I started off at 185.5, and I transitioned over into maintenance. And in maintenance, I lost another 15 pounds just living the Shibboleth lifestyle for a total of 50 pounds. And now I have kept that 50 pounds off for 2 years. And it's because this is practical, sustainable, and fun. And I'm just absolutely in love with it. So I hope that y'all are too after tonight. So tonight we are doing the lifestyle overview, okay? And I'm going to share a PowerPoint with you. And this PowerPoint will be available to you after tonight. So if you don't feel like you've got to screenshot it or anything like that, if you're going to do anything at all, start taking your notes for the week, because that is what's going to be the most important thing to do, is to take notes. So this is a lifestyle. This is not a diet. And what I need you to do is I need you to forget anything that you thought you knew about nutrition. Because if you think you know things about nutrition, but nutritionally you're still not where you want to be, then we need to learn new things, okay? And those things, like I knew a lot of things, but I wasn't applying them. I can still use the things that I know previously with the Shibboleth lifestyle. I just have to live within the guidelines of the Shibboleth lifestyle, because we finally are going to get some standards by which to live and measure moderation. We're giving you the standards tonight. And if you start living within the guidelines and these standards, you're going to get your body back. You're going to get your great feeling back. You're going to feel so good. Just after 2 days, you're going to start feeling good, okay? It's going to be awesome. Hey, Evelyn, glad you're here. Now, Facebook is doing something a little bit weird. If anybody is on Facebook with me right now, please say hello and let me know if I'm going to be able to read comments. It's not showing me anything at all. And normally people have said something by now on Facebook. So just let me know so that I'll know what I'm dealing with over there. Okay, so this is a lifestyle. It's not a diet. The first 3 letters in the word diet spell die. We don't want to die. We don't want to live by a diet for the rest of our life. We want to have a lifestyle that is fun, practical, and sustainable, and has a community of wonderful people like Shibboleth to do it with. Okay, tonight I'm just going to teach you the basics. What language are you going to hear, read, and see on Facebook and on our website? Because if you don't know the talk, the language, the things that we say, which are super easy, but if you've never been told what they are, then you're not going to know what they are. Tonight is my opportunity to teach you those things. Okay, Delanne, I see somebody's on Facebook. This is her second hello. I was wondering if something was wrong. Yes, something is going slightly wrong. I am not seeing comments like normal, but I did see that one, and now it has completely disappeared. So usually they hang on for a second and I can get back to them, but at least I now know what I'm dealing with on Facebook tonight. Thank you, Delanne. I appreciate it. Okay, so in Shibboleth, there are 2 modes. You are either in weight loss mode or maintenance mode. Weight loss or maintenance. Weight loss is not meant to be the mode that you spend the rest of your life in. Weight loss mode is a season. It's a tool. You're going to use this tool to get yourself to maintenance, and maintenance is where you want to be, like an ebb and flow of 5 to 7 pounds for the whole rest of your life, because you're going to have a holiday and the scale is going to go up. You get right back to business, it goes down, and there's going to be an ebb and flow. But over the course of a lifetime, 5 to 7 pounds difference really just makes a straight line, and that's maintenance, okay? But in weight loss mode, it's a season. It's a tool. Okay. It means that you aren't at your goal weight yet. You don't have your victory badge that we do get in Shibboleth. We get badges in Shibboleth. So that's your weight loss mode. That's the first mode that most people come into. Every once in a while, I have had somebody come in maintenance, but most people start off in weight loss mode. So there are 3 differences between these 2 modes. There's only 3. One is the number of holidays that you can use in a calendar month. We're going to go over that on the next slide. 2 is how you eat fruit. And 3 is your mindset. You might be starting off with a diet mindset, and you know what? Go for it. It's okay. A lot of times people are excited, ready to go. Just use that to your benefit and go for it. But by the time you get to maintenance, you need to have your mindset down that these are the new habits that you need to have for the rest of your life. Otherwise, it starts going backwards in the wrong direction. So we don't want that to happen. Okay. Hey, Angelia, glad you're here. In 2 types of days, there are 2 types of days. So we have 2 modes, weight loss or maintenance, and we have 2 types of days, a perfect day or a holiday. Hey, Angela, perfect day or a holiday. Now, in your journal, when you go to journal for the very first time, hey, Diane, thank you for sharing. Thank you. When you go into journal for the very first time, and here I am telling you that there's only 2 types of days, a perfect day or a holiday, and you see 10 there, you're thinking, what in the world? Hey, Sheila, congratulations. I love seeing that post yesterday. Thank you. Or was it this morning? It was this morning. Thank you for tagging me. I love that. So 2 types of days, perfect or holiday. But when you go into your journal and you click on the little drop down menu and you see 10 options, if you're a Tiger's Eye lifetime member, that's what you'll see. And you're going to think, she said there were 2. What do I pick? Really, right now, all you pick is perfect day or holiday. We are not trying to be fancy. We are not trying to be advanced. We are just trying to get this little new habit and pattern of life down. So let's just pick perfect day or holiday. That's it. But what's good about knowing that there are other types of days is that you can know that you can advance into future knowledge if you so choose. So perfect day or holiday. How many holidays are allowed? Now, in a calendar month, so let me just tell you what Shibboleth is. It's a management system. It's a management system. You're going to hear me talk a lot about managing your life, and Shibboleth is a part of that management. So it gives you, it's almost, in my opinion, you can't manage anything more important than your weight loss and your health. You cannot, and weight loss has to do with health. So that you are managing the most important thing. And if any of you are managers, you know that if you don't manage things, they don't go well. Or all of us are managers of our own household. And you know that when you manage financially better, things go well. You can understand the concept of a management system. And that's what Shibboleth is. Okay, so the first way we look at it is a calendar month. In weight loss mode, you can have up to 6 holidays in a calendar month in weight loss mode. Once you get to maintenance, you can use up to 12 holidays in a calendar month. That's almost half the month. That's amazing that you could do whatever you wanted to do really on 12 holidays. 12 days out of the month and maintain your weight. Now, here's the trick to that. Those other days need to be truly perfect days, right and tight, not leaning into okay days, because an okay day is technically a holiday. Hey, Rhonda, glad you're here. But in weight loss mode, and that's all I'm going to talk about this week in weight loss mode is 6 holidays, okay? Because most of us are focused on that anyway. So up to 6 holidays in a calendar month. And I'll talk about this on Tuesday night, but on Tuesday night, I'll teach you how I plan them out, because I do look forward at the month and see what's going on and kind of plan them out. And I've got some questions that I ask myself and stuff, and we'll go over that on Tuesday night. How do you have a perfect day? You simply follow what we call the Shibboleth shield. A shield is there to keep you safe. It is to protect you. And if you follow the Shibboleth shield, it will. It will. So after 2 perfect days, you are in EFB, baby, efficient fat burning. Rhonda had a perfect day. Awesome. That's wonderful, Rhonda. I'm glad you're happy. I'm happy for you. Feels so good to have perfect days. Let me just say this. Nobody ever regretted having a perfect day. So follow the Shibboleth shield. After 2 perfect days, you are in EFB, efficient fat burning. All you've done is you've given your body on the inside an environment where it will efficiently burn fat. And I'm telling you, it works. I've done it, and I've watched many other people do it too. So there are 5 parts of the Shibboleth shield: water, journal, combinations, portions, and timing. These are the 5 things that we focus on every single day. I now call these my 5 daily disciplines. My 5 daily disciplines. Rhonda, I'm glad he liked dinner. That's awesome. So we're gonna go over each one of these individually. Water. This doesn't have anything to do with food. You can start this tomorrow. I tell people all the time, sometimes I'll hear this, there's so much to learn before I get started. I'm like, no, there's not. There's 5 components that you need to start doing every day. Only one, combinations right in the middle, has to do with what you're eating. And that requires a little bit of new knowledge. But getting in water doesn't require new knowledge. Journaling doesn't require new knowledge. Portion control doesn't require new knowledge. And giving yourself a break between meals, that doesn't require new knowledge. It requires some discipline and being aware of what you're doing and making it happen, but it's just applying it daily. The only one that has anything to do with what you're actually eating is the combinations. Okay, so number 1 is water. Okay, you want to drink at least half a gallon of water, up to a gallon every single day. You can do anywhere in between 64 ounces up to 128 ounces, okay? And if you're on Facebook, since the comments aren't working right, if I miss something and never answer it, just ask again, because anybody that's saying anything, it's disappearing. So 4 of these would be half a gallon. So 4 of these are half a gallon. Hey, Angela. And 8 of these would be a gallon. So you're at your minimum to say that you've met this component of having a perfect day, you need to drink at least 4 of these. A dehydrated body will not efficiently give up fat or waste. Hey, Jeanette, Jeanette's my friend. Jeanette's my friend that when I first found Shibboleth, we would ride in the car together to meetings. We even went to a grocery store tour together. I love Jeanette. I'm glad you're on here with me. Thank you. A dehydrated body will not efficiently give up fat or waste, and we need both of those things to be moving out of our body on a regular basis. A lot of people will tell me, I never get thirsty. I'm like, bad sign. Bad sign. You're already dehydrated. You need to drink water. Let's see, half a gallon of water, then other drinks on top of that. If you want other drinks, you can have it after half a gallon of water. But yes, you always need to get in a half a gallon of water, no matter what. And then Marnie, if you want additional drinks, you can have them, approved ones. Thank you, Jeanette. Okay, so let's click on this next one. Component number 2 of the Shibboleth shield is to simply journal. Write down what you're eating. You are now a citizen of planet Shibboleth. Okay, and there are no idle bites on planet Shibboleth. None. If you bite it, you write it. If you nibble it, you scribble it. If you drink it, you ink it. And if you hog it, you log it. Okay, we write down everything that we eat. It helps us do things more mindfully rather than mindlessly. I have thrown many a chip, many a cookie, many a little bite of cake into my mouth mindlessly over the years, but now I don't. I do it more mindfully. And this journaling is really big in the area of behavior modification, and eating poorly is an area of behavior that we've got to modify so that we can do it in a healthier way. So this is very, very important. So you got to write down what you eat every day. Component number 3 of the shield is combinations. We're going to eat properly combined meals. We're going to eat in a way that controls insulin, AKA the fat bus. Insulin is the fat bus, but properly combined meals keep away the fat bus. Okay, in about 2 slides from now, or maybe 3, I am going to blow your mind with how this combinations things work. It is absolutely amazing. And it's one of those things that once you know it, you really can't unknow it. It's hard that you can choose not to do it, but it's not hard. It's not hard at all. Number 4 is portions. We're going to eat properly portioned meals from a 6 to 8 inch plate using the 2-hand rule. So the 2-hand rule is simply this: you close your fingers up as close as possible, you move your thumbs out of the way, you put your fingers together as close as possible, you lower your hands down over your food, and you look. If you cannot see your food sticking out around your hands, then you've portion controlled. You also don't want it any thicker than the thickest part of your hand. So you're not piling up your Thanksgiving plate and then saying, I can't see my food. Okay, you got to be reasonable. But because if you'll take your hands right now and lay them down over your tummy, your stomachs really are no bigger than that kind of spacing. Okay, so different shape, but it's really, that's a very good way to measure. And we carry our measuring tools with us wherever we go. So if you end up at Longhorn and they brought you a plate that's the size of 2 plates, you still know I use my 2 hands. But at home, it's a thing that if you eat on a smaller plate, you actually feel like you're getting a little bit more because your plate's full. And if you're using an 8-inch plate, we're really not talking the 2-inch rim around the outside. Okay. Now, this is really important to know. If you're taking notes, please write this down. There are 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. So to lose 1 pound of fat, we've got to be in a 3,500 calorie deficit. And the portion control is what's going to do that. You are not going to hear us talk much about calories at all. We really don't. Hey, Michelle, we really don't talk about much of calories because honestly, if you'll just use the 2 hands and then the combinations, that's got that covered. And you don't have to do a whole bunch of weighing, measuring, looking at calories, counting macros. You really have to counting points and all that. You don't have to do that. Eat a properly combined meal on a plate, covered up. We're good to go. You're going to get into that 3,500 calorie deficit and you're going to lose those pounds. Okay. So we've just been over 4 of the 5 components of the Shibboleth Shield. Number 1 is water. Number 2 is journaling. Number 3 is eating in the right food combinations to control insulin. Number 4 is portions. These 4 are the ones that you have to meet in order to say that you have had a perfect day. But there are 5 components to the shield. So let's go over this last one. Component number 5 is called timing. Now this one is really for optimization. So as long as you're getting all those others in, and we'll talk about what could throw you off on this day, but what I'm going to say really has to do with portions, not the timing. But you can have up to 3 meals a day. If I'm going to talk breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but if you're not a breakfast person, you don't have to eat breakfast. That's fine. But I've just used the words breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay. So you can have up to 3 meals a day. It is best if you eat them 4 to 6 hours apart, 4 to 6 hours apart. So let's say that you eat breakfast at 8 and then you eat lunch at noon. There's 4 hours. Then maybe you eat dinner at 6. There's 6 hours. That's very reasonable. Very, very reasonable. We're just used to eating more. So we've got to get into a better habit. But in the beginning, you might have a moment of weakness. And if you have that moment of weakness, you can utilize things that we call freebies, an extra, or a snack. Okay. Now, keep in mind, though, that we need to stop grazing. This guy, he grazes, this cow. But see, a cow was designed with a stomach that has 4 chambers designed for grazing. We were not. We only have 1 stomach, 1 chamber. We were not designed for grazing, yet we do it. or have done it. We're going to change our habits in the name of Jesus. But so grazing, we don't want to do. But I want to show you within this timing component how there's good, better, and best. There's good, better, and best. So let's say that you had breakfast and then mid-morning you had an extra. And we'll talk about what those are this week. And then at lunch, and then you had lunch. And then mid-afternoon, you had a snack. And then you had dinner. And then at night, you had some freebies. That's called grazing, okay? I mean, it looks like grazing. But if you have met all the other components to the shield, everything that you have eaten is the proper portion and the right combination, you've written it down, and you have had your water, that would be a good Shibboleth perfect day. It'd be good because you're controlling insulin and doing these other things. Okay, that'd be a good Shibboleth perfect day. Could you have a better Shibboleth perfect day? You could. Maybe you just had 3 meals and then you had a freebie in a moment of weakness. Okay. Is there an even better Shibboleth perfect day? Yes. Maybe you just have 3 meals. Okay. Or three meals. That's what you had. All right. That would be an even better Shibboleth day. But see, every single day that you're living is not exactly the same. Some days you might do one, some days you might do the other, some days you might do the other one. Okay, so they're all considered perfect days. Now, one is going to get you better results than the other, okay? But there's an ebb and flow, and I like to call it the rhythm of grace, the rhythm of grace. There's ways to meet that weakness. If you wanted to give into that, you've got these things that you can use, or otherwise you can start exercising your self-discipline muscle, which, by the way, I absolutely love that my self-discipline muscle is much, much stronger 2.5 years later. And I'm very thankful for that. Okay. If you go over 1 extra in a day, and if you go over 1 snack in a day, you're really going over on the portion control part, which is component number 4 that has to be met in order to say that you've had a perfect day. So I just want to mention that, okay? But as for the timing, you really want to give yourself time between meals to digest food. See, there's a lot of digestive issues out there, and one reason there's so many digestive issues out there is we are never giving our digestive system a break. The digestive system is a machine. It is a machine inside your body, which is a machine. And if you never give the machine a break, it's eventually going to break down. And that's why we have a lot of digestive issues going on in the world. But our body is designed and ready to heal itself when we start doing the things that create a good environment inside our body. Let's see. Sheila says, I have breakfast at 5:30 and by 10:30 I am starving, but I have lunch at 12. What can I do at 10:30? I would have a Health-Wise hot chocolate, Sheila, because it'll last a little bit longer. It'll give you something to sip on, and it'll last some time, and it's got 15 grams of protein in it. That's what I would do. I would have an extra right then. And it's only 80 calories for 2 scoops. Does that help? I hope that helps. Okay, so now let's look at component number 3. You're welcome. Let's figure out how to put together a properly combined meal. A properly combined meal. So in order to learn this, all you have to know is that there's 7 categories of, basically this is whole foods that roam the earth, swim in the oceans, grow from the earth. Okay. And then there are some other man-made items that make their way into some of these categories. Okay. Especially like energy carbs, and some protein plus fats and stuff like that. There's some man-made stuff that'll make its way in there. But foods make their way into these categories based on how they are nutritionally. What is their nutritional profile? Like, do they have a lot of protein? Do they have a lot of fat? Are they very fibrous in their carbs? Are they more energy carbs? Are they, that kind of thing? And how they respond in your body. because depending on its nutritional profile determines how it responds in your body. And that's what we learn, what foods are our own personal favorites, because you don't have to eat anything you don't like on planet Shibboleth, okay? If you hear anything I say that you don't like, scratch it off the list, because you don't have to eat it. There's plenty for us to eat, and find something you like. Okay, there's 7 categories of food. Number 1 is a lean protein, or the abbreviation LP. Number 2 is fibrous carbs, or the abbreviation FC. Number 3, energy carbs, or EC. And sometimes you will hear it described as a complex carb. You may even see it written as a complex carb, but the majority of the time we call them energy carbs. I just like to make you aware of what else you may hear, just so that you know those are interchangeable if you see it. Protein plus fat, category 4, or PF. Category 5, fruit, FR, also known as an antioxidant carb, AC. Category 6, superfood, SF. Category 7, shellfish, SHF, which is really just a lean protein. Okay, there's 7 categories of food. The category 1 and category 7, the bookends of the categories, are both lean proteins and can be used interchangeably. So if anybody ever says, oh, you're going to need a lean protein with that, if you eat shellfish, then you can have it from either category. If you don't eat shellfish, you're just going to focus on category 1. Shellfish, due to it got pulled off of category 1 due to medical reasons and biblical reasons. Some people don't want to eat shellfish, so it's just down in its own little category. Okay, well, now let's have a look at the ones that you could eat by themselves. Okay, and if you're taking notes, it'd be a really good idea to write 1 through 7 at the top of a piece of paper, if you can do that. And then I'm just going to say a few foods tonight for each one. And if you hear some things that you like, you might want to start writing those down. So 1 through 7 at the top of a piece of paper if you're taking notes. But what I want you to do right now is I want you to circle the next 5 numbers. Circle number 1, number 2, number 4, number 6, and number 7. Okay, you're going to circle number 1, number 2, number 4, number 6, and number 7. So 3 and 5 are the 2 that you did not circle. You did not circle those, okay? The ones that you circled can be eaten alone. Now, are you most of the time going to eat one of these alone? No. But one of the things that is important to know in Shibboleth is how to eat in different situations. We teach you situational eating. Not every single time you sit down for a meal is going to be an absolute glorious experience. I go to luncheons all the time. So I go to these luncheons and I go there, and sometimes I look at what is prepared for me and I look down and I'm like, fat bus, fat bus, fat bus. Oh, steak. I'll eat the steak. And I have made a good eating decision for that moment. I don't need all that other stuff. It's hurting my body, not helping my body, and I do not need it. So it's really important to know the things that you can eat by themselves at times. You know, most of the time you're not going to do that, but I mean, you got to know how to make these decisions. But number 3 and number 5, those are the 2 we did not circle. Write this down. If you want to eat 3s, which are energy carbs, or 5s, which are fruit, they must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So energy carbs or fruit must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. And we're going to explain that in just a second. But right now, I want to tell you some of those foods that go in these categories. I'm just going to say 3 for each one. There's longer lists, much longer lists. We'll hit some longer lists tomorrow, and we'll be talking about food all week, okay? So category 1, lean protein. This is where you're going to find egg whites, chicken breast, and fish. Okay. So that's where you're going to find egg whites, chicken breast, fish, a short list. But I want to talk about the fish. So fish is in category 1, but all the other critters that live in water, whether or not they have a shell, go in shellfish. Okay, so that's how I like to explain that. All fish is up here, but everything else that lives in water, whether or not it has a shell, goes right here in shellfish. And it's a lean protein as well. So shrimp, lobster, octopus. Okay, category 2, fibrous carbs, broccoli, green beans, and over 60 approved bread or bread type items. We're going to talk more about those tomorrow night, but this is usually a hallelujah moment for most people. We do not exclude any macronutrients on planet Shibboleth. We just teach you which ones are the best to eat and what you eat it together with. Category 3, energy carbs, corn, potatoes, most lighter colored beans, protein plus fat, whole eggs, all cuts of steak, most pork products, fruit, all fruit is in fruit, superfood, nut butters, seeds, avocado, that's all like that kind of thing. Okay, so let's have a look at energy carbs. Okay, energy carbs must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So what your plate might look like, because we're going to use my 2 hands as my plate. What your plate might look like is you'd put an energy carb here. Let's do a quarter cup. Let's do about a quarter cup of lima beans. They'll fit right there underneath my hand. About a quarter cup of lima beans. When you eat lima beans, your blood sugar, and this is where I want y'all to really listen. I want you to really pay attention to this next thing, because this is crucial to understand what's going on in your body when you eat certain things. When you eat the lima beans, which are an energy carb, your blood sugar elevates. Your pancreas secretes insulin to deal with the blood sugar elevation. But now that you know, okay, I got to eat in a way that controls insulin, I need to eat this with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. Okay, so let's finish off the plate. Got my lima beans here. I'm just going to put some chicken breast here, and I'm going to put some green beans here. So the lima beans elevate the blood sugar. The pancreas secretes insulin to deal with that blood sugar. See, insulin actually comes out to do a job, okay? And we're going to talk more about that in a second. But now you've chosen to eat this with chicken breast. So the protein in the chicken breast and the fiber in the green beans that you ate with it neutralize the insulin release that came out because of the lima beans. You just used food as medicine to neutralize insulin that came out to deal with those lima beans. It's brilliant. It works. And why is it so important? Because insulin, we call it the fat bus. It is a growth hormone that is focused on fat storage. Now, there's other growth hormones in your body, but they're not all focused on fat storage. Insulin is a fat storage growth hormone. Once you got to however tall you were that you stopped growing and you let insulin surge around in your body all the time, you're not growing taller. You're still growing, but not taller. Okay, so this is why it's very important to control insulin, because we do not want to store new fat. Because see, once you get into a portion control, you get into that calorie deficit with your portion control, you're burning fat. But if you were to eat in the wrong combinations and just store new fat, and then you're burning it and you're storing it and you're burning it and you're storing it. That is a vicious, nasty cycle that we do not want to be in. We want to be burning it and also not storing new at the same time. Y'all got me? Y'all got me? Y'all tell me if what you've just heard in the last minute is amazing, because this is amazing that we now know what to do, and it just has to do with food. Yes, Michelle, it is absolutely amazing. That's the secret. This is the secret to weight loss and wellness. Travis has cracked the code. Okay, so let's say that you want to eat some fruit. Let's put together, now, if you don't like egg whites, this is just an example. There's many more. I can come up with lots of brown bag lunches and all kinds of stuff too. But yes, Rhonda, I'm so glad you're saying it's amazing. Brand new member over there saying it's amazing. It is. It's the science. It's like you're going to win the science fair now with your body, what's going on inside your body. Because every time you eat, a science experiment's going on. Are we going to get the blue ribbon, or are we not going to place it all? Let's get the blue ribbon with this information. Okay. So fruit, let's say that you want to have some berries. Thank you, Lisa. It is so cool. It is. Let's say you want to have some berries. Berries are the lowest on the glycemic index, which is your sugar, but it's still a fruit. We still eat in a way that controls insulin. And if you want to eat some berries, it needs to be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So let's just say that you make yourself an egg white spinach omelet, and then you have your berries. Or maybe you do an Oikos 000 yogurt with some hemp flakes in it, which we'll talk about those later in the week, and some berries. That makes a lovely parfait that people just love. Okay, so we've got it figured out. Now, do you remember in the beginning when I said there were two modes, weight loss mode and maintenance mode? And there's three differences between the two modes. The number of holidays and your mindset are two of them, but that other one was fruit. When you are in weight loss mode, fruit must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. That's what you do for fruit in a weight loss mode. And remember, I said weight loss mode is a season. It's a tool. It's something that you're doing to get to maintenance. Once you get to maintenance, if you would like to have fruit as a snack for the day, you can do that too. But if you're eating fruit with a meal, you should still combine it properly. But you could also have it as a snack too in maintenance, but not in weight loss mode. Okay, so there's very important. Because fruit is still a natural sugar. It's still fructose. It's still a natural sugar. It still elevates your blood sugar. Your pancreas still secretes insulin. That insulin still needs to be neutralized. Okay. But once you get to maintenance, a little small insulin release is not going to have a major factor on what you're trying to achieve, because you've already achieved it and now you're maintaining. And I hope that makes sense. Okay, but let's talk about now that you know that if you want to have energy carbs or fruit, that you've got to have that with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. Let's talk about something that you don't eat together. Okay, so we've got protein plus fat. You do not eat protein plus fats with anything that brings an insulin release. Okay, so we're not going to eat category 4s with category 3 energy carbs, category 5 fruit, or category 6 superfoods. Okay, so we're not going to eat 4s with 3s, 5s, or 6s. Okay, so let's talk about the classic plate of a steak and baked potato. So the steak is a good protein, and it's actually a really good, natural, healthy fat. And honestly, fat's not the problem. Fat, when eaten in a portion-controlled way, will just be used up as energy and dissipate as heat. So that's really no big deal if you just eat, a protein plus fat under one hand, no biggie. Here's the problem. If you eat it with a baked potato, we're going to get fat storage. So let me explain this. A baked potato doesn't actually have any fat in it. It's just the catalyst to fat storage. I think baked potato has 0.5 or something. I mean, it's so minuscule. So it's not the fatty thing. but it is the catalyst to fat storage. So we're eating a potato. Our blood sugar is elevating. Our pancreas secretes insulin to deal with the blood sugar elevation. Insulin comes out to do a job, but it goes, woo! They ate this with a protein plus fat. I'm going to go get that fat. I am. I'm going to go get that fat. And it goes and it collects the fat and it takes it to its destination. I don't want it in the destination. I spent 5 months trying to get it off the destination. I'm not putting it back. I am not putting it back. Now that I know how to not put it back, I'm not putting it back. So can you still have, y'all answer this question. Can you still have a steak and baked potato on planet Shibboleth? Can you? Can you still have a steak and baked potato on planet Shibboleth? Yes. Yes, that's right. That's right. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. Awesome. Thank y'all all for answering. You can. If you truly love steak and baked potato, you could have it up to 6 times a month if you wanted to. No problem. Nobody's taking. See, here's the great thing about Shibboleth, and this freed my mind up so much. Nobody is taking anything from you. It's just you deciding what day to eat it on. Okay. So let's say that you're having a hankering for steak and baked potato, but it's not a holiday. And you don't want it to be a holiday. There's no reason to have a holiday. And so you think through it. You use the Shibboleth shield. See, I like to do what I call filter my decisions through the Shibboleth shield. Okay, so it's not a holiday. You don't want it to be a holiday, but you're thinking steak and baked potato. This is where you have to bring out the management part of a day or of a meal. If it's really the potato that you're wanting, then you just have it with a lean protein and a fibrous carb, okay? A small potato with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. But if it's more the steak that you're wanting, you simply have it with a fibrous carb. There you go. I mean, it's just a decision. It's just simple decisions. It's simple swaps that you are making. This is so doable. It is so doable. Okay, so that is why you don't eat it with that. So whenever I think about the fat bus, I think about the school bus. And I think about the fact that little kids will go stand out at their driveway or at the front of their neighborhood, and they are waiting on the bus to come by and pick them up and take them to their destination for the day, and that's the school. The fat bus comes out and goes and picks up the fat lipids and takes them to their destination, which is where we don't want it. So that's how I think about that happening and everything. Now let's talk about superfoods real quick. How does a food qualify to be a superfood? It's got all 4 macronutrients in it. Now, if you used any apps where you have looked at macros and stuff before, you're thinking, well, how? I don't know that there's 4. Water. We call water a macronutrient on planet Shibboleth. It is the most important macronutrient, and it's a 0-calorie macronutrient. Superfoods also have protein, fat, and carbs in them. And I just told you the macronutrients in order of importance: water, protein, fat, and carbs. So that's a trivia question answer for you. If anybody ever asked you the importance of what macronutrients are important and in what order: water, protein, fat, and carbs. But a superfood has all of that in there. So you just don't eat that with protein plus fat, because when you see that protein plus fat word, you don't eat it with foods that bring an insulin release, because you don't want carbs and fat in your body at the same time. So that's the way that works. Okay, so let's have a look over here at, I felt like there was something else I wanted to say. Hang on. Maybe it'll come back to me. Okay, so this is a combination chart. Over here on the right-hand side, the red, yellow, and blue combination chart. And you'll notice right up here, it just says kind of phase 1, first 7 to 10 days. Phase 1, to tell y'all the truth, is really the foundation of the lifestyle, and you always will be living in phase 1. In the future, and tomorrow night and Tuesday night and other nights this week, you're going to hear me mention phase 2. Phase two is really just more variety of foods, meaning more foods from the inner aisles of the grocery store are going to be introduced to you. Okay, so it's just simply that. It's not like, I'm advancing into a whole nother level of of knowledge. It's just more foods in the inner aisles of the grocery store. Okay, so the blue column is the fast weight loss column. The yellow column is faster weight loss, and the red column is the blowtorch column. You are blowtorching fat like you'd blowtorch butter. So the blue column is fast weight loss because it's different than what we were doing before we found Shibboleth. Okay, it's combining foods in a way that are going to control insulin, and this is what controls fat storage. All right, so we're going to look at this. I want you to know how to read one of these lines. There's no algebra here. There is no math here. We are not adding anything. There's no math. Okay, these are just like the key, the legend to how to create the combinations. So let's read this one. This very top one in the blue column reads like this: Category 1, lean protein, eaten with Category 2, fibrous carb, eaten with Category 2. I'm sorry, I said the wrong thing. I know it so well, but I don't like it when numbers are out of order. I think the 2 should be here and the 6 should be here. So y'all just picked up on my little idiosyncrasies. Okay, but this is a Category 1 lean protein eaten with a Category 6 superfood, eaten with a Category 2 fibrous carb. So what that might look like: 96% lean ground meat, like a hamburger patty, black beans, and small side salad or broccoli. That's what that is. These sound like normal, delicious meals, right? Because tomorrow night, we're going to talk to you about condiments and how to use condiments. This over here is MR, stands for meal replacement. Okay, so you can use some meal replacements in weight loss. And over here, look at this one. This third line here is Category 1 lean protein eaten with a Category 2 fibrous carb. If you come down one line, is a Category 1 lean protein eaten with a Category 2 fibrous carb cooked up in MCT oil. MCT is a simple swap too. We're going to talk about that in just a second. See, seriously, Shibboleth is just simple swaps. The food library tells you the new foods that you might need. Say, if you were eating a loaf bread before, but it wasn't helping you, we got to figure out which one that you like that will help you. If you were eating a tortilla before that wasn't helping you, we got to figure out which one will help you. So the food library is where you're going to find all of that. Those are simply swapping groceries that you're buying. Now you're simply swapping things around on your plate and eating in a way that controls insulin on all the days that you want to be perfect in a month, which need to be 24 to 25 perfect days in a month to get the results. And MCT is going to be the oil swap that you make. Okay, so let's do a little recap. Okay, I haven't said this in these terms yet, but I want you to know this. Lean protein, whether it's from Category 1 lean protein or Category 7 shellfish, lean protein eaten with Category 2 fibrous carb cooked up in MCT oil is the fastest fat burning combinations. Okay, that's blowtorch right there. Travis calls it exercise on a plate. Okay, if you want to eat Category 3, which is energy carb, or Category 5, which is fruit, you must eat it with a lean protein and a fibrous carb for the insulin control. The third bullet point: don't eat Category 4s with things that bring an insulin release, which are your 3s, your energy carb, 5s, fruit, and 6s, superfoods. And then this is very, very important because we teach you how to eat out at restaurants. You can eat from convenience stores. You can do all things on Shibboleth, but you just have to know how to do them. All meat at a restaurant should be considered a Category 4 protein plus fat, even if it's chicken breast or fish, because you do not know what oil they cooked it in. So basically, they took a lean protein, they cooked fat into it, and you got to call it a protein plus fat. Now, at home, you would have used the right oil, but see, you don't have as much control when you go out. And so we just got to call that a protein plus fat. So think about this. when you have a protein plus fat at a meal, you're going to know not to order it with these three things. And that helps you make a good decision, manage your meal. So let's talk about approved oils. 100% MCT oil is the #1 oil that we recommend. MCT stands for medium chain triglyceride. Now, a medium chain triglyceride has almost no propensity to be stored on your body as fat. Let's just say amen, hallelujah. Did anybody ever know they had an oil that had almost no propensity to be stored on your body as fat? I have not bought any other oil since I started Shibboleth besides MCT oil. The oils that we were using before Shibboleth, or I was olive oil mostly, and then maybe a vegetable oil sometimes, canola oil, things like that. But those are LCTs, long chain triglycerides. A long chain triglyceride has a great propensity to be stored on your body as fat. There are different types of fat lipids. The first thing is one is shorter than the other, one is long. So it takes longer to burn up, and it's extremely dense. So it takes a long time to break down and burn it up. Okay, so that's a long chain triglyceride. Oh, Grace, you're going to have to switch that olive oil. That olive oil is for a holiday only, Grace. Holiday only. And then the next thing that you can use is coconut oil. Awesome, Grace. Thank you. Thank you. She switched it. Good. You can use coconut oil. Coconut oil is 66% MCTs. It's not 100%. It's 66%. So it's pretty good, but this would be better. And then ghee butter. Ghee butter is really just butter. It's just been clarified, meaning all of the milk solids have been pulled out of it. And it's just the fat that's left. That's about 25% MCTs when that's done to it. So you can use ghee butter. Ghee butter comes in handy, in my opinion, if you were eating some shellfish and wanted to dip it in butter, or if you're making recipes, that's where ghee butter comes in handy for me. And then you got 0-calorie cooking spray. Now, MCT oil, your serving amount for MCT oil is 1 tablespoon. So let's say that you're cooking yourself 1 piece of chicken breast in a pan. You would just do 1 tablespoon in there. But if you're cooking 4 chicken breasts for the family, you could put 4 tablespoons in there, okay, to cook, because it's like 1 tablespoon per serving of what you're fixing. Now, it's got about 130 calories per tablespoon in it. So I was asked the question one day, why would I choose to use something that's got 130 calories in it versus something that's 0 calorie? Well, that's because this medium chain triglyceride has a muscle preserving effect, and we want to preserve muscles while we are also losing weight. You can't build muscles and lose weight at the same time, because building muscle requires a calorie surplus, but we can protect muscles. So we want to protect our muscles, and it also has a metabolism building effect. Because MCTs burn up so fast, there is a little bit of a heating up process when that happens, and it'll burn a few extra calories. So that's fun. And that's why it's called exercise on a plate, because when you eat chicken breast, broccoli cooked up in MCT oil, that's almost a negative calorie meal because of the calories that it takes to break down the protein in the chicken breast and the fiber in the broccoli. And then you got a little extra calorie burn with the MCT. It's almost a negative calorie meal. So you fueled yourself, but in a super positive way. Okay, so that's really cool. But you're hearing me say some really great things about MCT oil, but here's what I don't want you to hear. Please do not hear that you need to get it in. You never need to get it in. We use it for 3 reasons only: cooking in a pot, a pan, however you're cooking, in a recipe, and I know that's cooking, I just like to separate them out, and for making approved salad dressings. Those are the only 3 ways you'll use MCT oil, okay? We're not going to make bulletproof coffee with it, randomly add it to shakes, or take it as a supplement. No matter what noise out there in the marketplace that you're hearing about MCT oil, we are not using it in that way. See, not everybody out there selling MCT oil is trying to get themselves healthy with their weight loss. Okay, so you might be hearing things and you might think, ooh, what if I did that one thing? Would it help? Because aren't we all like, what if I did that one thing? It'd make a miraculous difference. Shibboleth altogether makes a miraculous difference. And it's important. See, Travis has studied this for 20 years. This is 20 years of his study right here, introduced to you in this plan. Okay, so this is what you'll use for your oils. All right, we're wrapping this up. It's going to be about 3 more minutes, okay? I want you to remain in EFB as often as possible. So see how these got little flame streaks here on your timing chart in your calendar, in your journal. Well, not in your journal, in your timing chart, in your account. You can get your little flames on there by what you journal. So think about this though. We're striving for perfect days, but planned or unplanned, a holiday is coming. That's all right. You have the holiday. You can use up to 6 in weight loss mode. After a holiday, it takes 2 perfect days to get your body environment back into EFB. When we are in EFB, our body is going to burn fat. Fat is just stored energy. It's just waiting there to be used. See, a calorie is a unit of energy. And if they get overeaten and then they get stored, they're just sitting there waiting to be used. Okay. But we can't access and use stored energy unless we give our body the right environment for it. So when we are in EFB, our body is going to burn fat, which is stored energy, for the energy that we need, rather than easily accessible sources of energy, such as unapproved oils or starchy or sugary carbs that are unapproved. Think about this. If we're giving our body unapproved oils that take a long time to burn down and break down, and we're giving our body unapproved starchy and sugary carbs, those are all easily accessible sources of energy. Just like human beings usually take the path of least resistance on something, your body is going to go to the most easily accessible source of energy first before it ever gets to any stored energy. And if you're always giving it that other stuff, it's never going to get to stored energy. And we need it to get to and access the stored energy for the energy that we need. But when we're in the EFB, that's what it's going to do. Let's recap what insulin is, or what the fat bus is. The fat bus is insulin. Insulin is a growth hormone, a fat storage hormone. Insulin also increases appetite. Y'all, this is scary. Have you ever eaten chips and then wanted ice cream and then wanted a pickle and then wanted cookies and then wanted a taco? And you're like, what in the world is happening here? Insulin. It sends your appetite off the charts. After an insulin release, fat storage will occur for up to 48 hours, meaning you're out of EFB, because you can't really be efficiently burning fat if the process of storing fat is occurring. But see, over those 2 perfect days that you're having, insulin is dissipating and going away, and any sugar stores that got into your body are being used up. That's why it's on the 3rd day that you're back in EFB. Okay. Let's see, Angela, I've had some holidays, but in October, I don't need holidays. My goal is to have perfect days until October 31st. Pray for me. Yes, Angela, that is awesome. I love that goal. And you can do it. You can do it. Always think about what you can have, not what you can't have. And you've got a goal. You're going to be so proud of yourself when you hit that goal. It's wonderful. So what are you going to eat this week? You simply make a list of 7 of your favorite lean proteins, 7 of your favorite fibrous carbs, and you pick something from one category and eat it with something from the other category. And if you have some MCT oil already, cook it up in that, and there you go. Throw in a few meal replacements that you like, simply for simplicity, okay? And if you don't like to eat meal replacements, you never have to eat any. I'm just saying that if you were eating Pop-Tarts before, you might need to know what kind of Pop-Tart would work now. That kind of thing, okay? We meet everybody where they are on their own personal journey. Shibboleth has everything. Whole foods, meal replacements, recipes. We got everything. We can teach you all of it. We just need to know what you like. And we can help you with that. Keep it super, super simple in the beginning, then branch out as you continue to live and learn the lifestyle. Okay. And then take advantage of our awesome resources that I'm going to teach you this week in Fast Track. And welcome to the Shibboleth family. We are here for you. Okay, so now Fast Track is extremely important. I'm going to pop over there real quick and show you Fast Track because this is where you need to get started. Fast Track, lap 1, this looks like a long list. It is not. This does not take long to do. This takes about 2 seconds to do. And each one of these down here is about 2 seconds to do. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. So these are not long to do. If this is your printable things, welcome packet and guidelines, phase 1 combination chart. If you can print them. If you can't, feel free to save them on your phone or your computer or just read them and take notes. Okay, this is where you're going to find lots of meal ideas too. This is a new member worksheet, library. So remember how I just mentioned like 3 foods per category tonight? If you click on that new member food library, you'll see a lot more listed. Okay, now that's not the massive food library though. That's just the new member one to keep it small, keep it simple in the beginning. And then, so you got your printables here, and that's just joining some Facebook groups. Okay, so go ahead and do lap 1. And then go ahead and do lap 2. See, I can't really do lap 1 and lap 2 with you because you've got to print your own stuff, read your own stuff, make your own notes, okay? But in lap 2, confirm your email, find your ideal weight, complete a full body assessment, complete your profile, making sure to record your starting weight and measurements. Take a before, front, and side picture and upload to your account. Define your why. See, those are things I really can't do with you. There's a little tutorial video right here about why you're doing them and all. So you can watch that and that'll help out. If you happen to miss any of the 7 nightly webinars this week, they're all going to be housed right here. So I wouldn't click this box until you've watched all 7. Okay, but they'll be housed right there. This simple food combining website link is what I'm going to use tomorrow night to teach the class, the Monday night simple food combining class. And this is the quiz that you want to take to get full access to the food library, recipe library, and restaurant guide. Now, when you get this badge, it's actually going to look like this, and it's going to say Fast Track Complete. That's because that was the badge before we expanded Fast Track. And it's not necessarily, Fast Track isn't complete until you've marked off every box in all 7 laps, okay? But I don't do, the reason I'm explaining this right now is because I don't do lap 1 and lap 2 with you. You need to do those on your own. Tomorrow night, we're going to do the simple food combining webinar using this website right here, okay? And then, but what I am going to do with you every single night from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is basically I'm going to shorten your learning curve on learning to use the website, like the food library, the timing chart, the recipe library, the restaurant guide, the video library, wow challenges, the meal plan generator. I'm going to show you all of that each night. And it's a great place to come and ask questions if you have them. So you can always have a place every single night that you know you can get questions answered. So I hope that y'all have had a great time tonight. I hope that what you've learned is life-changing. I know it was for me. I was like, whoa, okay. You know, really, this is just the education I never received anywhere in any schooling or anything. And it's the most important education I've received of my lifetime, having to do with me taking care of myself. So I hope you've had a great time. And my prayer for you is keep them safe day and night. Give them courage, strength, and might. You're welcome, Jeanette. You're welcome, Sharon. Awesome, Angela. I love that. Thank you. See you tomorrow is what she said. I love knowing you're coming back. Awesome, Tammy. Thank you. I'm so glad that y'all are here with me. Makes a huge difference to know that y'all want to do this along with me. You're welcome, Renee and Mary and Marnie. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, if you're still hanging on here with me, I got one last thing to say. I do a little morning show each morning called The Shibby Show. You're welcome, Jenny and Rhonda. You're welcome. The Shibby Show. And it's on the public Facebook page around 7:30, could be 7:40-ish in the mornings. You're welcome, Madeline. I couldn't even tell who was on Facebook with me because it didn't show me anything, but y'all are commenting now but it's disappearing right away. So Facebook does weird things. But the Shibby Show, join me in the mornings. Go ahead and like the public page on Facebook, then click notifications, and then click that you want to know about all lives from Shibboleth. And Monday through Friday, I go live. Morning motivation, daily devotion, focus in on the day. What are we going to do today? So good. I'm glad this helped, Lisa. That's awesome. I'm glad you're encouraged. Awesome, Cindy. I'm glad it helped. Awesome. Wonderful. Okay. Night, y'all.